we've seen them. They have got their stuff together.
Yeah.
They're working really well, and this Arc team, even I don't really know many of these Arc players, but they've definitely impressed me from that first game. And jumping into this undergrowth right now, this first site, let's see what's going to happen.
Yes, and we're away as we have K-pop pushing down ramp and a bit of a sitting back strategy from Arc, which I mean,
But it works almost. Let's see who's
it
going to.
doesn't
He
pay
gets a
off this
sniper
time,
headshot.
and K-pop have the first hold as we'll jump into first person now as we'll jump on with Aero for their first retake as he comes pushing in, but he actually gets taken out as Effort sitting and Hart getting some decent damage early, 2 picks. It's good to see that Semi is getting played a lot in Asia. We don't really see it in some of the other regions. We see a lot more of the old school metas in a lot of the other regions, but I think it is Aero with the reverse spray again when he takes the site.
Yep. Trademark. It's a trademark at this point. We
Yes,
finally saw Ark get control of the site there, but in the last 10 seconds, they get it retaken. Hopefully, they just go for this next point. They don't really have a choice. They have to. And we're going to see probably a four-man push-up ramp from K-pop. We see Eru behind them. This could be devastating for if he hits his shots, but he doesn't.
he whiffs
He
quite a
gets
few
one kill,
shots
but
there.
misses a few. And rejection there. Oh, he's causing absolute havoc. And his
Yeah,
team comes in. I was not expecting that. Honestly, I
that
thought he was just
was
going to get
yeah.
beamed.
Bit of a weird thing as we see a bit of lag on Arc as well, or it could be the server, could be me, could be
I think it's a
anything.
server.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's a server.
Um,
I mean, yeah, it doesn't work in K-pop's favor there, the server. As we can see, Arc holding down that site. We're gonna see another four-man push. The server's still jittery as anything, but K-pop this time they get it. Um, we apologize again for you viewers for the lag. Can't do anything about it. We're hopefully getting new servers soon. TM. Who knows?
yeah.
But yep, K-pop holding the rest of that site for the remaining time, and we're going to see Arc already sitting in cave, getting a good stack on here. Dwindling the lead from K-pop. See if they're going to hold it here. It's turning into a 3v2 now, and it looks like Arc is holding this cave site well, and their
Yeah.
team is spawning at con. They're going to Arrow's coming behind again. This could be devastating. Look at that. Gets a pick,
For
and he can come in
rejection.
and probably wipe.
Oh
Yep, there we
boy.
go. Another great hold by Arc.
Guys, again, obviously in first person we get to see the lag is a lot worse than when we're in bird's eye view. And guys, obviously it's not ideal. If you've been in the esports scene for a while, like we've had problems for quite some time with lag. Obviously, it's a work in progress. It has been a lot better since the new server providers, and usually we're on the comp servers, which today we're not actually on, mainly because that something wasn't set up for them or something. I'm not actually sure the ins and outs of it, but guys, there's nothing we can really do about it. So, like, if you are playing and listening, and you are having these troubles, obviously be patient. Both sides are copping it, some worse than others, obviously, and it can, as we see there, someone just sort of lags out a bit and they die, but there is nothing we can do about it. But what we can do is talk about this, Johnny. We are down to the last site of the first rotation, and it is absolutely neck and neck again.
Yeah, it's almost a just repeat from last game. It's just down to the wire on each of these sites. At the end of each site, you see like maybe a team pull like a 400 point lead at most, and but it doesn't matter because the other team will crawl it back, and as
Yes,
we see here, Arc is already on the next site. They're already on it. They're stacking. They're getting the stack in, and getting a spawn at roundabout for Sir, but he gets taken out from behind, and K-pop regains control of this first site. I think we saw K-pop in the first rotation of the very first site. They had most of the control for this site for that time. So we're gonna hopefully see Arc regain control, but it doesn't look like it as K-pop is still defending it pretty well. But they get the roundabout spawn for Arc, and that's gonna be like that's just going to be really good for them.
Yeah,
They're going to get a good
definitely.
4 stack. There's 20 seconds left.
And with 20 seconds left, this is looking again like any team can take this one out at this point. And you know, on Sandstorm, even though it's the second to last site, double walls is always like the critical one that like you need to hold, and it's the last featured site on this map. And Johnny, it is literally going to come down to the wire on which team's got the better double wall holds, as well as, you know, Cave as well is definitely a site that isn't able to be TDM so hard, as there's a lot of hidey holes, there's a lot of pillars, there's a lot of cover to, you know, make your standpoint on defense. And I think, you know, it's going to come down to team structure. As we see, like this site right now, no team's really getting the edge. Each team's sort of only getting around 100 points on this site so far. And again, here it is. It's neck and neck. It's Ark in the lead when they take the retake. Then K-pop come back with a take. Then it's them in the lead. You know, they've only got a 90-point lead at the moment. As we see Ark on point again. With the boys coming onto site now, they're probably going to be able to soak up the last sort of 5 seconds. Hopefully they all get on point. As they do, as we'll jump on board with Rejection, the LMG player, for their first push into Cave, as we actually see one of the boys up in heaven from K-pop, as Rejection just doing so much damage on the LMG. And it's, you know, it's good to see these pushes are very structured. We spoke about it in the first game. Like, these teams, you can tell they have been scrimming, they play pickups, you know, they've got an idea of what happens in competitive, and this is just so neck and neck.
Yeah, I think we've seen Ark kind of get the most points on Cave, but as I say that, K-pop just holding it pretty perfectly, and we're going to see Ark maybe get an early rotation. Doesn't look like they are. But they're spawning on the next site anyway, which is good for them.
Yeah.
You know, this double wall site is pretty much the same gist as Sandstorm double walls. It's probably the most important site. You get the most points off the site, I'd like to say. We're going to see a 4-stack hold, and then K-pop just flying in, turns into a 2v1, and Ark actually gets the hold, which is really good for them.
And I mean,
still another 40 seconds left for K-pop to get a good push in and take control of it.
Yeah, and we were on board with Anime Weeb for quite some time there, as we saw him getting some really good picks on the sniper when he was in Cave and doing a lot of damage on that first push, and it didn't pay off, but they come back strong and they have got the retakers. Again, it's so neck and neck that it's really down to, like, this point I think is going to be the turning point of the game, because every other point, it's one retake after the other. It's to and fro. It's a seesaw of who's taking the point. And it's, you know, Ark in the lead. He come back, take the site. They get a small lead. And, like, this rotation came down to Ark taking the lead into now the final rotation of this matchup. Whereas we saw in the first ending of the rotation, we saw he have the slight advantage. So, Johnny, like, I don't even know who to pick at this point, because both teams are just showing great strengths, and it's like there's been no huge clutch from any player. It's just straight up wipes and multiple people alive, or it's been really strong holds.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to the final probably 20 seconds of double walls, because after every site, we see the scores are almost exactly the same between the two teams. I think it's going to come down to who's holding the final, you know, 30 or so seconds on double walls at the end of the map.
Yeah, and
we're probably going to see K-pop, you know, get control of this site at some point, and they're going to just bring the lead back down.
Yeah, it is the biggest lead, you know, so far.
Yeah, if Ark actually holds this, but it doesn't look like it, yep. Like I said, K-pop getting a bit of control here. If Handler can get onto the side, or maybe cause a bit of disruption at mid, no, he's going to come straight onto the side.
He actually gets picked off.
Yeah.
As they're actually but I mean, you know, they do have the chance here to push up through mid. Rejection coming in from LMG as he was the one player that did get picked off. As we see a bit of a to and fro, but Anime Weeb coming in as they do get wiped and they do get the roundabout spawn, which, you know, is arguably the smallest bit closer, but they, you know, all in mid arc. There's 15 seconds left. They do have time for one more push as they're coming in now. Everyone is low from K-pop, and I mean, Anime Weeb isn't able to take this out, but Effort coming in and he does get the wipe, but they haven't got enough points from that site, I feel. They definitely need to bring it a little bit closer, and this cave point is definitely going to be a tail, sorry. They need to get on this point, and they need to not panic too. I know we sort of hype things up a bit here with casting and make it sound like it's so urgent that they need to get on the point, but these guys, like, they're going in one by one. I feel like now that the lead's blown out to 800 points, you know, it's not an insurmountable lead. They just need to, you know, reset and push in properly, and they're getting absolutely demolished right now as they're coming in from mid. And Johnny, it's 1,000 points, and you know, there's 20 seconds left. They should probably leave one person on new and have a little bit of a disruption as they do actually get the wipe, but that is
I don't mind that. I don't mind what
neither.
K-pop did there because they've got a good 10 seconds of stack here. They're going to bring it down to probably an 800 point difference here. And if they can get this first push, it's going to be, I don't know who to pick. If K-pop gets his first push, but we're going to see Arcade at Tree. That could be devastating for K-pop.
Oh, this is it.
But no,
This
look
is
at
it.
that.
This is it.
This is it.
K-pop need this
This will
next
be
hold.
down to the wire.
This
They
next
need
push,
to hold this next push.
so critical right
Determines all of
now. As we see a little bit of
Oh, and
unfortunateness there,
Arc
but
have
Arc
just.
get the benefit of that sort of issue we had there. But
I
Johnny,
think Arc's gonna take it. It could if K-pop gets this, they might have a chance, but it looks like Arc might.
oh,
They need
Hanlo,
they need
yes,
to get the kills.
but
Oh, no,
the others
but
have spawned
like I said,
in.
the spawn timing, they couldn't get it right. I don't know if it would have. I don't know if that would have changed anything because that last 1v1, whoever that was on Arc,
But these
they did a great job of delaying.
boys need to stack right now. He needs to stack as many. They shouldn't be off point because
too
what's
late.
critical
Too
is
late.
that even though they couldn't win that
Oh.
match, they needed the points because
Oh yeah.
I think
true.
with that victory, I think